A 12-year-old girl is standing on a narrow ledge, 150 feet above the rocky coast of Maine. She is refusing to step down. This isn't a suicide attempt, it's an ultimatum. She is holding the local police hostage until the FBI investigates her claim that her best friend didn't jump, she was pushed. The local authorities have already written her off. This town recently endured a string of teen suicides, and the police have categorized her accusations as a symptom of psychological denial. When the systems meant to protect a victim are the very ones that disbelieve her, the standard protocol for crisis negotiation fails. Breaking this deadlock requires an unconventional intervention. The FBI maintains a massive infrastructure for training adult agents at Quantico, but this specific case falls to a classified unit called the Naturals. They are teenagers. Every member of this group possesses analytical skills that far exceed those of senior agents. These abilities weren't learned in a classroom. They were developed as survival mechanisms during their own horrific childhood traumas. The team includes Cassie, a profiler, Sloane, a human calculator, and Leah, a deception detection specialist. They are led into the field by Dean, who grew up studying the behavior of his own father, a notorious serial killer. Their mission is to prove a murder occurred and identify the killer before the girl on the lighthouse is pushed to the rocks below. This team relies on the BPE triangle to solve cases. By mapping behavior, personality, and environment, they can cross-reference any two variables to accurately predict the third. While the clock ticks at the lighthouse, the team analyzes the previous crime scenes to find the flaw in the suicide narrative. Sloane calculates the fall's trajectory using the victim's height and weight. The impact point contradicts a voluntary jump. Reaching that distance requires a horizontal velocity impossible to generate alone. She had to be pushed. During interrogations, Leah notices the victim's parents are consistently lying. They are hiding their children's social conflicts and personal struggles to preserve a sanitized image of their families. Cassie's analysis of the scenes reveals the killer selects holy ground, like church steeples, for the attacks. Autopsies also show the victims had hidden self-harm scars, indicating they were harboring deep, concealed pain. The killer is specifically targeting vulnerable teenagers who are already struggling with trauma, using their existing pain as cover for murder. At the lighthouse, the local police have cleared the area, leaving only one negotiator in the lightroom to talk the girl down. For these murders to go undetected, the killer needs to be the person the department trusts to interpret a victim's final psychological state. Every suicide in this town was processed by the same precinct. The suspect would need to be present at every scene, calming the witnesses while ensuring the official report remains death by suicide. Quentin Nichols, the lead crisis negotiator, has been the primary point of contact for every one of these cases. The person the police sent to save the 12-year-old is the same man who has been waiting for the right moment to push her. The Naturals reach the lighthouse lightroom and find the door jammed from the inside, battering it open just as Nichols corners the girl. Nichols believes he is acting out of mercy. He tells the girl that the trauma she has survived will never leave her, and that he is simply helping her find a way out of a life of pain. A single shot ends the confrontation. Nichols is neutralized, and the 12-year-old is pulled back from the edge of the lighthouse. The investigation reveals that Nichols' own sister took her life when they were teenagers. He lived with the guilt for years, eventually convincing himself that death was a merciful solution for any child who had experienced severe trauma. The Naturals suffered through similar horrors, yet they chose a different path. Instead of succumbing to the trauma or inflicting it on others, they used their hypervigilance to protect those in similar danger. This is the trauma spectrum. The same childhood horrors can create a predator or a prodigy. The outcome depends on what that person decides to build with the remains of their past.